Why is it that the moment you stop chasing, she suddenly starts paying attention? You've probably experienced this yourself. You're giving everything to someone who seems indifferent. Then the second you step back, they're suddenly interested again. It feels manipulative, confusing, and honestly, exhausting. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When you constantly pursue someone, you're actually teaching them that your attention has no value. Think about it. If something is always available, always within reach, does it feel precious? Does it feel worth fighting for? You've been operating from a place of scarcity, believing that if you don't keep proving your worth, they'll disappear. So you text first, you make all the plans, you're always available when they call. You've become predictable, and predictability kills attraction faster than almost anything else. The irony is brutal. The more you try to secure their interest, the more you push them away. You're solving a problem that doesn't exist by creating the very problem you're trying to avoid. Your fear of losing them is exactly what makes you lose them. But when you pull away, something shifts in their psychology. Suddenly, your attention becomes scarce. Your time becomes valuable. Your presence becomes something they have to earn rather than something they can take for granted. And scarcity, whether we like it or not, creates desire. This isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. This is about understanding human psychology and, more importantly, understanding your own worth. When you pull away, you're not punishing them. You're reclaiming your power and remembering that you have a life worth living independent of their validation. Here's what happens in their mind when you step back. First, there's confusion. They're used to your constant availability, your predictable responses, your eager participation in their world. When that suddenly changes, their brain starts asking questions. Where did he go? Why isn't he texting me? What's he doing that's more important than me? Then comes the fear. Not necessarily fear of losing you romantically, but fear of losing the consistent source of attention and validation you provided. Even if they weren't romantically interested, they enjoyed having someone who valued them so highly. They liked being the center of someone's universe, even if they didn't want to reciprocate that energy. The psychological principle at work here is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's incredibly powerful. When rewards come unpredictably, they become more valuable than consistent rewards. Casinos understand this. Social media platforms understand this. And whether consciously or not, people in relationships understand this too. But here's where most people get this wrong. They think pulling away is about creating drama or making someone jealous. They think it's a temporary strategy to get someone back. That's not what this is about at all. Real attraction isn't built on manipulation. It's built on genuine self-respect and the confidence that comes from knowing your own worth. When you pull away authentically, you're not doing it to get a reaction. You're doing it because you've realized that chasing someone who doesn't appreciate you is beneath your standards. You're doing it because you have better things to do with your time and energy than convince someone to value you. This shift in your energy is palpable. People can sense when you're operating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. They can feel when you're no longer desperate for their approval. And ironically, this makes you infinitely more attractive than any amount of pursuit ever could. The fear they experience isn't just about losing you. It's about losing the version of themselves that felt powerful in your dynamic. When you were chasing, they felt desirable, important, in control. When you stop chasing, they lose that feeling, and they want it back. But here's the crucial part. If someone only wants you when you're pulling away, if they only value you when your attention becomes scarce, then they don't actually want you. They want the feeling of being wanted. They want the ego boost of having someone pursue them. That's not love. That's not even genuine interest. That's just ego gratification. Real attraction, lasting attraction, doesn't require games or scarcity tactics. It's built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine connection. When you meet someone who truly values you, you won't need to pull away to get their attention because you'll already have it. The goal isn't to make someone fear losing you. The goal is to become someone who doesn't need anyone to fear losing them because you're complete on your own. When you reach that point, the right people will naturally gravitate toward you and the wrong people will naturally fall away. So, what does pulling away actually look like in practice? It's not about disappearing completely or being cold and distant. It's about redirecting your energy back toward yourself and your own life. Instead of texting them first thing in the morning, you focus on your morning routine. Instead of being available every time they want to hang out, you prioritize your own plans and commitments. You stop overanalyzing their every word and action. You stop trying to decode hidden meanings in their messages. You stop rearranging your schedule to accommodate theirs. You simply start treating them like you would treat any other person in your life, not like they're the center of your universe. This shift accomplishes two things. First, it forces them to step up if they want to maintain the connection. If they're genuinely interested, they'll make an effort. If they're not, they'll fade away and you'll have your answer without having to wonder or chase. Second, and more importantly, it reconnects you with your own life and your own worth. You remember who you were before this person consumed your thoughts. You rediscover your interests, your friends, your goals. You start building a life that's fulfilling, independent of anyone else's participation. The beautiful irony is that the version of yourself that emerges from this process is infinitely more attractive than the version that was desperately chasing someone's approval. You become confident without being arrogant. You become available without being desperate. You become interested without being needy. And if they do come back, if they do start showing genuine interest when you pull away, you'll be in a position to evaluate whether that interest is real or just a reaction to scarcity. You'll have the clarity to see whether they want you or just want to win you back as a challenge. The truth is, people who are right for you won't require these dynamics. They won't need you to pull away to recognize your value. They'll see it from the beginning and respond accordingly. But until you learn to value yourself enough to stop chasing those who don't reciprocate, you'll keep attracting people who only want what they can't have. So yes, she might fear losing you the moment you pull away, but that fear isn't love, and it isn't the foundation for anything lasting. Real connection doesn't require scarcity to survive. It thrives on mutual appreciation, consistent effort, and genuine care. The goal isn't to be feared or chased. The goal is to be genuinely valued by someone who doesn't need games to recognize what they have. And the only way to attract that kind of person is to become that kind of person yourself.